In the ultimate act for revenge for losing the American Revolution, the British government has sent us Prince Harry and his D-list actress wife, Meghan Markle, to our shores. And now it looks like the revenge has gone further, as Prince Harry has announced that the United States will become his official residence. However, there's a little bit more to it. 'Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute, going for a ride down the side. Hi everyone, my name is Jacob Berry. Welcome to the StudioJake vidcast where I talk about all things pop culture. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Ring the little bell if you'd like to support the channel. Check out my local page. The link is in the description. Okay, it's true. All of it. Despite having a myriad of drug problems for some reason, the State Department is allowing Prince Harry and his D-list actress wife, Meghan Markle, make the United States their official residence. I find this really interesting because a couple of things. Prince Harry has drug-related charges against him. He's been a drug addict and everything, and normally the State Department is on top of this. In fact, there were rumors for a while that he might get deported, but they seem to be letting him and Meghan Markle trounce all over the United States and even leave and come back and all this nonsense just to, annoy us, I guess. But then Moist Critical, his esports team, they wouldn't let them come in because of the name of the team, which was Moist Esports, I believe is what it was called. But then, and also Matthew Marsden, actor extraordinaire, he's been in several films, including Black Hawk Down. He was on Coronation Street and plethora of other films, including starting with Sylvester Stallone. His son is in England. Matthew Marsden is an official U.S. citizen, but his son can't get a visa or even, apply for citizenship. It's absolutely ridiculous that the State Department is letting Prince Harry and Meghan Markle run around. Now, I don't think Prince Harry should be allowed to be an official, uh, have his official residence here because he is a foreign national. But not only is he a foreign national, he's also, could be potentially be the King of England. Heaven forbid that something happened in the, in the 15 heirs that are in front of him, heaven forbid. So why are we letting him chill here? I think this way about all leaders, unless they are under the threat of harm, I don't think that they should be allowed to take up residence in the United States. Again, unless they're under threat or it's some sort of diplomatic mission, but it's clearly not. They're just here so they can keep spamming and spamming the United States citizens and then scamming Spotify, Netflix, and all these other entertainment deals, especially with Meghan Markle's new lifestyle brand, her going full goop. But what's interesting about this story is it gets bigger than that. Apparently, Prince Harry wanting to make the United States his official residence is just a dig at daddy. That's right. He just wants to irk King Charles because of stuff that happened previously with all the family drama. The fact that when King Charles was going through treatment for his cancer, Prince Harry showed up and he would only give Harry, I think, half an hour to visit with him. And then also stuff happened with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's castle up there. Not that they don't have a plethora of castles that they can move into, but they're throwing big hissy fits over that. So Prince Harry making the United States his official residence is just a dig at daddy. How pathetic is that? This is from GB News. Prince Harry has been accused of trolling King Charles after choosing a specific date on his business documents to mark his U.S. residency. The Duke of Sussex has chosen the day he was kicked out of Frogmore Cottage on his official business records to declare his primary residency as California. Speaking to GB News, royal editor Charlotte Griffith said the move by the royals was due to him being bitter about the decision by his father to remove him and Meghan from Frogmore Cottage. By the way, this isn't like a cottage, what you're thinking of, where it's like a small house with a white picket fence. This is basically a mansion. But anyway, continuing on with the article. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex were residing in the Windsor home before it was vacated to make way for Prince Andrew. The couple then left the royal family in 2020 and have lived in America ever since. In discussion with GB News presenter Ben Leo, Griffith said the prince had the opportunity to choose any date on the documentation and could have instead chosen the day he and Meghan officially stepped down as working royals. Griffiths noted, "I wouldn't put it past him to have deliberately put that in there to spite his father." These two. Well, it's kind of funny because the reaction from the British basically is, "No take backsies." Well, that is absolutely despicable of him, not to mention, as I said earlier, pathetic. And that just kind of sums up Prince Harry, right? If you listen to any of the clips from his book Spare, you just see all of the connections, everything he's trying to do. This he had this Freudian story about a cream someone gave him because his nether regions got frostbite, and it was the same cream that Princess Diana would wear. It's a really bizarre story, and the reactions to that particular story across social media were hilarious. Not to mention, Meghan Markle is starting her own version of Goop, which I think is so funny. It's hilarious to see these two just continually try to push themselves into pop culture, into the culture at large, and no one is buying it anymore. I mean, it's absolutely so funny to watch them. Like they tell fib after fib after fib. The Meghan mocking the how she was supposed to bow before the Queen when Queen Elizabeth was still alive, and laughing about it, and then them using tricky editing to make it seem like the press was always on them. Not to mention, I would like to be very clear. The British press is despicable. They're worse than the American press, believe it or not. All of Euro press is disgusting garbage. They're basically all TMZ over there. They don't ever report any actual news. It's all gossip about rich people, which, by the way, I don't have a problem with rich people. I don't want to be rich. It's this elitist attitude that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have. Prince Harry going around lecturing us about climate change when he's flying around on a private jet and going to all these events and going to sporting events and all this, and Meghan Markle wanting to put in her lifestyle brand. Oh, look, I'm going into a barn. Oh, look, I know how to cut up a piece of fruit. Whatever. Her chef I remember she was on I think it was the Today Show with Matt Lauer recently, where she was like making like this fruit dip or something, and you could tell that 5 minutes before her personal chef had prepared her to do that, you could tell she had no idea what she was doing. Not to mention, she's being sued for defaming her, I think it's her half sister, in for statements she made in her book. Originally the case was dismissed, but I believe the sister is appealing it, and not to mention disparaging things she said about her dad, who's a dying man. Like, come on now. You can just tell these two just have massive daddy issues, and that's what brought them together. And at first, they were annoying the British public, and now they're going to keep annoying the American public. Prince Harry is friends with Justin Trudeau. I don't know why he just doesn't go to Canada. Trudeau welcomes him with open arms every time they go. They could hang out in Ottawa, which I found out during the Trucker Freedom Convoy was the capital of Canada. They can go to Toronto, they could go to Quebec and hang out there. Maybe they don't speak French. They always talk about how sophisticated they are, but who knows? But they want to just hang out because they want to be with the big wigs, the elites, the celebrities, the ones who want to lecture and finger wag to you about skyrocketing prices when their butlers go shopping for them. They don't ever have to worry about choosing between fixing your car and buying groceries. That none of those elites have to worry about that. But it seems that instead of trying to graft on to the crowd, whether it be the British crowd or the American crowd, they want to talk down to you instead of uplifting you, which I think is great. They should do that, but they're not. Instead, we're going to get finger wagging, we're going to get Goop knockoffs, and everything in between for the royal rogues. Maybe one day Prince Harry will make up with his father, King Charles, and return. And you know what, UK, if that happens, no take backsies. 'Cause
I've been living life right like I could just die